Hello, everybody, and welcome to our NXT Stand and Deliver review show and
WrestleMania week, people. It's finally here.
Yes, best week as a wrestling fan, even in COVID times, and definitely if you're there in person or just in general watching at home, and non-COVID times with just everybody being in the basically same location. Back in the day, it's a good weekend of wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, all different promotions. It's a good time. Everybody sharing the wealth here with Mania in town. But anyways, we're going to give our predictions night one and obviously night two. As a reminder, we will have a review show of Mania after night two on Sunday. So we just tackle every night all in one, just like we're going to do here with NXT. A good segue here in NXT. We had obviously Stand and Deliver night one on Wednesday on USA and Peacock, which, before I move on, I think Peacock was the way to go watching it.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing was, man, I didn't even know that they were simulcasting on there until about a few hours before. I was like, oh, okay. I no commercials.
I think they did say that before.
Okay, I must have
missed it.
Completely missed that. So.
Well, to be fair, I think they did say it was, because on Wednesday, I think a lot of people assumed it was on USA, or they said it was on USA. And then obviously they said Peacock on Thursday.
Right.
But I think that was a good way of another test to do both. Because I was thinking, if it's on Peacock, are they going to have commercial? Like, how are they going to do this? But no. What happened is when they went to a commercial,
it was really weird. Like they would just it would black out for a second or two.
They do that, I think. When on TV, they transition to black as they go to commercial, and then when they're fully in commercial, they bring it back. Same thing with the audio, just so the transitions are nice, especially on if you're coming back from a commercial, you just don't hear random talking, and then welcome back. So, I mean, it is, people have to understand that it's just transitioning, but you saw the entrances. I know some things were cut. You got some exclusive interviews and just some conversations with the commentary team, and I know the beginning of the gauntlet match was with attack from Swerve. Before that was on Peacock, you saw that, so that added, really added to the the story of at least that first half of that match. But for Peacock, there was no issues. I think that was the best way to watch it.
Yeah, because to me, if I had to watch night one with commercials, I probably would have just opted in watching the AEW then, just because to me a takeover with commercials is just weird.
Yeah,
that's
fair.
But I did watch it on a Peacock, and man, I did not think that come by Friday that I would be saying night one was in my opinion better than
I would have
night two.
I watched it today because I was busy. This is what I compare if I want to describe night two in two parts here. Up into, I think it's safe to say, the last two matches, it felt like it was not taking anything away from the first part, but I want to compare it to a weekly show special, and then the last two felt more takeover-ish.
Yeah, it's just there were certain things, especially on night two, that
it was a lot to live up to. Though.
Well, and on top of that, they just didn't have any story going into those matches. More specifically, with the
tag team,
with the women's
fair
tag team title.
That's fair.
And they were kind of building to it, but there was real story between like Johnny and like Bronson Reed. So it was hard, and even as much as I was excited for like Santos versus like Jordan, that was like thrown together in the last 2 or like 3 weeks. So it was hard for them, and I also was it like you or sorry, was it like me? Night one felt like that there was just more energy, whereas like as like night two just seemed more calm from the crowd. I don't. I like kind of noticed that. I was like, damn, like there was like a noticeable difference for me there.
Did they cut back on the fake noise on the second day?
They did, yeah.
That's probably why.
I was gonna say because
I think they maybe
night one just seemed like, man, that felt like an electric crowd, and night two just.
I think the comment. I think the fake noise, at least just the ambient fake noise, I think was good on the night one. Maybe they wanted to try and see how the crowd was. Right. Because to be fair, it is a small crowd.
Yeah.
But I can see that. But I think maybe the vibe is effective because of how we felt about night two. And like again, I think I can speak for John. Like night two wasn't bad. It just compared to night one,
it was just
there was a lot to live up to after the first night. After you go through
and just on paper, that card on like night two looks so much better than like night one did, and that was why I had such high expectations.
But to be, you know what? Looking at it now, night one, I'm kind of like shaking her head, like, why did we think that was not going to be as good?
It's just, well, I mean, like when you look at a like ladder match between Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin, I mean, like the only match on this card that I was like, you know what, don't exactly care was the like women's tag team match.
Escobar,
but then like Johnny versus Reed, Finn versus Cross, and Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. It's like.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Let's get into night one.
Okay, but like night one, the thing that shocked me here, Matt, on the freaking pre-show, Zoe Stark pins Toni Storm clean.
I didn't find that shocking.
I was only because like Toni, she was just like challenging Io a like month ago, 3 weeks ago, like
month. I would say a month.
Yeah, so like that just really surprised me. Like wow, they really pinned her there.
I wasn't as surprised because obviously they showcased Zoe a lot, and one, she wasn't going to pin Io.
No,
she wasn't going to pin Raquel. She faced, so everybody she pretty much faced was more of a make her look good but put over the challengers and her opponents. With Toni Storm and then being on a pre-show, Toni Storm kind of not really in a program right now. No. I think it was
she's in like complete like no
well,
man's
to
land
be fair, it's a good problem to have with that women's division. I mean,
it is. But at
the same,
I don't think that they actually know what they want to really do with her right now, and I'm also wondering, could they possibly call her up too? Because I just don't see where she like really fits right now in NXT, and that's kind of what I'm questioning right now. But I also feel too, I don't think her as Toni as a like heel has been exactly working well. Because to me, she's always been better as a like babyface. I felt just kind of how I have always have like felt that, but like for the match itself, it was a like solid match. I'm interested to see who they feud Zoe with, because they could. I'd be fine with her. I'd be fine with her just like feuding with like Tony for the short term, because I don't think that there's really anyone who's going to, because obviously Zoe isn't going to be challenging Raquel anytime soon. So I feel like that probably makes sense unless they go into a feud with maybe like Candace or something.
I don't know about Tony since she just beat her, so like it's why like there's no, I don't say there's no point, but like it doesn't make, if like Tony like cheated to beat her today, there's your
feud right there,
starting point. I like a Candace. There's good variety for Zoe, but I think it is a good win because Tony Storm is a bigger name, so that's a good rub there. Right. So yeah, good match. I mean, Zoe just has the look, man.
Yeah, and she is athletic as freaking hell, man. Like just
chiseled.
Like, and the fact, man, she was signed and basically put on TV basically at the same time. That has never happened. When
faced Io and
right, like I can't even recall people such as like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and these people who were basically signed, and within a week or two they are on TV. Like they must be really high on her, because man, and now she needs to get a character to her, something to her, because right now she's just a very good, she's just a very good professional wrestler right now. So I'm hoping that they kind of figure that out there.
Tweak her a bit.
Right.
At least get some wins, notice, and get people behind her, which I think that is happening. I think she's being so far booked well. I mean, she's not getting. She didn't get whipped by Io. She didn't get buried by Raquel. She showed some stuff, make her look good in the loss. That was one of those situations. And now she gets her, up to this point, signature win. And then we'll see what happens. Probably see more of her on Tuesday. Now, obviously, with NXT moving and wrestling every day and not doubled up, unless you like whatever NWA on Tuesday or whatever. So there's some doubling up, but the main shows.
So then we kick off the show, Matt, with Kishida versus Pete Dunne, and I'll be first to say, even though it was a pretty good match here, I just don't think that this should have been on the show, only because I feel like with like Io and like Raquel, they kind of like cut that short a little bit there. I feel like it could have gone on a little bit longer. And
the good thing for them, USA gave them the overrun.
Right, and to me, I feel like if they would have just cut out this year, that it would have been fine, and just have this on like Tuesday night. Like, I just don't understand why they felt the need to.
I think the 1, 2, 3, 4. I think to get it at 5.
Yeah,
I think something a good opener.
Oh yeah, I mean, like hell, I'm not complaining about the match itself. I just don't feel like that since they were on I'm not USA. I don't feel like that this needed to be on here.
I'm not gonna dispute that.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the match. Technical, the working, the working match that opened the show. Telling some stories, body parts and stuff. Pete Dunne getting the win, which they're continuing to build him. I love Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Just a badass. So it was one of those things. You wanted both to win, but obviously a little bit more highly on Pete Dunne there. The higher ups are thinking, but good,
and
solid opening.
And the thing about Kushida is like, I think this is probably is like his ceiling right now, unfortunately. Because I don't know what you can really do
unless they
with it.
change.
Yeah, and this is going to lean into eventually when we talk about Santos Escobar, is hell, let's have a freaking feud be between those two there. I'm hoping that they can find ways to actually use Kishida because it just feels although he is put on some pretty good matches, I just feel he's pretty directionless right now.
And they need to if he's going against Escobar, I think they need to give him some wins before leading up to
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
With an obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Escobar and Kishida, that would be fantastic.
Fun, yeah. Then we had the number one contenders gauntlet eliminator. This was a lot of fun here, Matt.
Yeah. I especially like the second half.
Yeah,
when they
absolutely.
kind of got down
Mm-hmm.
to the later half there, it got really good.
Right.
I appreciated just continuing with. I think it was a good choice of Swerve attacking Rough before, and he throws out, and they were fighting before,
and he lasted until the very end here, so they're continuing or building him up more. So
built with a loss. That
right.
was I did appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like that with Swerve, even though he lost, he still looked good. He shined.
And by far, my favorite thing is the freaking tsunami, man. And our friend Eric hates this man so bad.
I did see that.
He pretty much he is his Kenny Omega for Jim Cornette here, which is
I don't know. That's saying a lot.
I'm not shitting you when I'm saying that, but man,
okay. I would like to hear a rant.
This, I just loved seeing Reed just kill people. It sounds so bad to say that, but
athletic big man.
My God, I mean, I'm nowhere in shape or form in comparing to him, but a name that I think of is Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's
a guy at that size who can
a good
move.
metaphor, if you will.
Right. Just I really like watching him wrestle, and just he did which I think that was okay. I'll talk about that for the Johnny match where he did a freaking moonsault from the second rope, which completely floored me there. But I think about this match, Matt. Were you shocked that LA Knight got eliminated as quickly as he did, and
after eliminating Loomis?
Yeah. Were you surprised by that?
A little bit, yeah. I thought he would come down to the. I thought he would come down to the final. But who pinned Bronson Reed?
Reed pinned him.
But I still like a Swerve getting that shine.
Yeah.
On
I'm
that.
fine with that.
Yeah, LA Knight. I'm curious what they're going to do with them after this.
Yeah. I'm not sure where. I mean, is it going to be feuding with Dexter Loomis next by
That's
the
a
looks
possibility.
Of it, since he eliminated him?
Yeah, that's a funny promo of LA Knight who can talk you into buying a broken car to Dexter Loomis who does not talk.
No. And then there is
that could be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll give that a shot.
And then there is your boy Cameron Grimes.
To the moon.
Yeah. I will admit he is growing on me. I hate to admit, but man,
slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
I'll take it. I'll take a little bit.
But yeah, so he was eliminated by Swerve Scott, where they tried forming a small alliance here. When
he paid them money in the beginning, that was funny.
He tried to pay him off, and then eventually Swerve he eliminates him. Then eventually it leads to Reed. as I said, killing. Swerve Scott.
Yeah. For Grimes for a second, I'm glad he got this gimmick because that really added to him. It gave him more dimension as a character.
Right.
Originally, he was that cocky heel that when he faced any adversity, he tucked his tail and ran away like a little baby. But with this, there's like I said, more depth, more character, and it's more entertaining and things. You do the stuff with the money, and now he's the cocky guy with money, and he's just wasting it.
Yeah.
So it
kiss
my
really
grits. Kiss my grits.
Or kiss.
What did you?
Kiss my grits.
Oh my god!
Kiss my grits.
Oh my god! Kiss my grits.
All right. So then.
Oh wait, was I gonna say something else? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't know. Were you?
I thought I had another.
Kiss my grits, man.
Kiss my grits. Oh! I like that he was still afraid of Dexter and Loomis. At that part of the match. Though it continued that because sometimes things.
PTSD there,
yeah, like that was, and he's like, he got out and pushed some. I think he pushed somebody else, or he just got out of the ring. I think, but that was a nice little touch. Hey, I think that's all I had to say.
And then we go to the UK Championship, which, in my opinion, was the best match out of like both nights here. Walter versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, good God.
Holy crap, this was awesome. This was physical. This, like, when like Walter chops the freaking announce table, it just split. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That was
cool.
That was awesome because that was smart storytelling because everybody's talking about the chops and stuff. You injure his chopping hand, so you got a weakness. The chink in the armor, and Ciampa was going after it. It told, I think, maybe the best storytelling. Definitely night one. Probably, maybe you can say night two. Right. Maybe compared to, I would say, Cole and O'Reilly.
And something I like to, even before the match even started, Ciampa shaved his freaking head, man. I was like, my God, he looks like a million times better just with that. But for the match itself, this was exactly what I expected. This is exactly what I hoped for. These guys just beat the crap out of each other in hell.
Walter's chest at the end,
right?
Blood blisters.
Like, and that's a typical like match of his. Like, anytime I saw him, whether it was in like Evolve or something, his chest was always just like burnt red from chopping so many guys so many times here. And so what did you think about the finish, by the way?
It was, remind me, wait, a chop.
It was, I think it was a chop into a slam, and that was it.
I think I because that was 2 days ago when I watched it, so I might remember. There was, I think they went through. I think Ciampa went through a lot.
Yeah.
After that.
Oh yeah, he went through hell. He went through hell.
Like that last thing was maybe just enough.
Yeah.
I can see if anybody criticized that, I can see it. But I think just the physicality before justified what had happened. So I mean, I was okay. I was okay with it. Right. From what I remember, when I remember, because the whole freaking match was just a war of just men slapping meat.
Yeah, just
not to be funny, but like.
Yeah, I mean, it just
physical,
and it was just physical, and man, like anytime we get to see like Walter on these takeovers, I'm always pretty damn excited for him, and I would say, Matt, if there was a guy who I would pick to beat Karrion Kross, it's Walter.
I buy it, 100% buy it.
It's Walter. Like he is the only man on this brand who I can realistically buy to pin. If
you gave me Walter and Karrion Kross, or you know what, and take that vice versa. Karen Cross to beat Walter. That goes both ways. If one of them beat each other, I'd be like, okay, I buy it. Yep. I have no problems.
No.
There's like, it'd be nice if somehow they. I know it won't happen, but like in my world, like those two face winner take all, like at a Mania weekend, like takeover, like whatever.
A SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's like that, I don't know if Cross would go over to the UK. Probably not, especially now. So that won't happen now.
Yeah,
but like in an ideal situation, like holy crap.
Yeah,
but I don't know. One, I don't know how you get the title off of Walter. I don't know who's ever in the UK brand.
I'll answer that for you. There is nobody.
Okay,
nobody.
Fair enough.
So
3 years for Walter.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't think he will ever lose that title.
I don't know how you.
I mean, like, he's so much better than everyone else. Hell, not just over in UK, but in NXT. Period. Like, he is the most dominant champion NXT has ever had, and it's not even close. So
one of the most dominant champions in WWE in recent history.
Absolutely.
How many people? When did he win that? 19. We were there. Yeah, in Brooklyn.
Yep.
So it's going on. It's 2 years.
Yeah, it's 2 years now, and I don't see him losing that title anytime soon.
You have 1 year champions and over year champions,
and
no 2 years.
And I think like Pete Dunne had held that title for at least 2 years.
I thought it was at least. I thought it was at least a year. I don't remember. It was at least a year.
No, it was at least like 2 years. So
I think I don't know. I can't. I have to
look. It was at least 2. So I'm very interested to see who, like, because for a next big takeover, like, I feel like, man, him and Karrion would just that would be so much damn fun. But I just don't think he will ever stay over.
Because Triple H, and because I listened to that night one media call.
Yeah,
and they had Triple H and Shawn Michaels on it, and they said they would like to get him more, but it's kind of like you get him when you can get him.
Yeah.
I think this was WrestleMania thing weekend, so you get him for there. But he's probably going to be mostly in NXT UK.
Yeah,
and that's one of the shows. If I get into a rhythm, I don't know, because there's a lot to start watching. Because from what I see, a lot of good crap happens over like match wise. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and to me, there's only so much that you can watch, and it's such a generic show too, in my opinion, that even for someone as good as like Walter, I need something more. But that is
I guess that more UK. I don't know if that UK style, but if you don't watch it, you watch it. You like it. I just there's just a lot of wrestling, and there's only so much I want to watch in a week.
Yeah, or you're just gonna completely burn yourself.
But like, at the very least, when they do have like specials, I wouldn't mind watching those.
Right.
Because for a long time, even before, I kind of wasn't watching weekly NXT, and I was watching the takeovers before they went on to the network. Yeah. And obviously the promo packages catch you up really damn quick.
Yeah.
But anyways, what a damn war.
Yep.
Just a summary war.
And then we go to the NXT Tag Team Championships, which are like vacant, between MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Legado del Fantasma. Another really good match. MSK really shined here. And I knew we should have gone with I should have gone with my gut, but I picked the Grizzled Young Veterans here. But man, MSK achieves their dream, and they are now the new NXT Tag Team Champions. I'm very interested to see what they have planned for these guys, because obviously, Matt, these guys are extremely talented, really good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Really good wrestlers. What exactly did like you like, not like, etc.?
I don't know if I would have pinned grizzled young veterans. But they were kind of feuding-ish. They were in the finals, so it kind of made sense.
I was a little bit surprised that they didn't have like either like Wild or like Mendoza.
I guess they're protecting them, or at least that group.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering, go ahead and write anything down. I don't think anything I really disliked. This was your just your high-paced match of the night. Your flips and everything match. But yeah, just fantastic all around. Just MSK just continue to improve, impress, not even improve, impress. But yeah, I think everybody looked good here. Some just good all around match here.
Yeah. Nothing else to like really add. They're just a very solid match. And we'll see where things go next for MSK. Then we lead into the main event for the NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez. This was like very good. And pretty much what I expected. I felt like Io was going to be fighting her like heart out, but it just wasn't going to be enough. And I loved her like, moonsault or was it
crossbody? I think off the skull.
Or sorry, her crossbody off of that. That was
she like. That was like farther than I thought, and she landed hard.
And she made it look easy too, which Io, she just proves that once again she is by far the best women's high flyer in the world right now. It's just effortless, very like Rey Mysterio, like where just everything is just really.
And that was in the video package before, or either on the pre-show or before the match, of her comparing her inspiration, because she does the 619.
That was her idol.
Yeah, and she tried to do that to Raquel. Raquel caught it. I remember that. Yeah, just a solid, good main event. Raquel winning, totally expected that.
Yeah. And
that was the time.
And now, unfortunately, Io is probably going to be getting demoted to either Raw or hopefully SmackDown.
Triple H wanted to put that to bed on the post.
He did?
Show.
Okay, good. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Because he said it's funny how every time anybody loses anything, everybody assumes they're going somewhere. So. Say assume what you want.
But it's like, okay, what exactly can Io do now?
I don't know.
And I feel like that's going to be the question because at this point she has beaten everybody.
Right.
She has feuded with everybody.
That could be.
It's like, I don't know where.
Take what you want from his comments.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I'm like, yeah, I don't really buy that, because if there was like something or someone you could say, okay, I can see that, but it's very similar with like Shayna when she first lost her title. It's like, well, she's beaten everybody, she's feuded with everybody. I don't know what exactly that she could do with her. So honestly, I'm kind of expecting her to be getting called up, in which I'm going to completely dread, because just based on how they have treated NXT people, it's not exactly a very good track record. So we shall see where that goes. All right.
Teaming with Asuka.
Yep. Yeah, that is a freaking guarantee. A guarantee. All right. Night 2, which we had a pre-show match
which I didn't see, but I know who won.
Yeah, between Breezango versus Killian Dane and Drake Maverick, and we saw like Breezango come out and as like pirates, which was kind of funny, but
makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, but Killian Dane and like Drake and like Drake win,
as they should.
Yeah, not exactly surprising there. So yeah, that was that. Then we kick off the show, Matt, for the Cruiserweight Championship in a ladder match between Santos Escobar versus Jordan Devlin. What are your thoughts on this?
Since it's not a obviously not a multi-man match, there's not a lot of crazy, stupid things people do. Mm-hmm. This was different in the way of it didn't like overly depend on crazy high spots. Mm-hmm. For this. It was more, ground and pound, try to weaken your opponent to be able to climb. And in terms of that, I did appreciate it, and it was different. I know we both probably had high expectations about craziness.
Yeah.
But I guess they didn't want to overdo it and at least try to tell a story and beat him down. There was a time, I think, Escobar in the beginning trying to like bridge a pin and kind of I guess it was just muscle memory.
Yeah.
And quickly got out.
Yeah.
But it was more like beat your opponent down and to obviously to climb the ladder. Mm-hmm. I did like I thought the finish looked nasty with the headbutt and
Jordan. I was like, jeez,
I thought that was.
I was like,
fantastic finish.
I was like, he's dead.
I thought that was a fantastic finish.
Yeah,
you ain't coming up from that.
Yeah, I like that, but man, I had such higher hopes for this year,
and that's going to affect what you think.
Right,
up here,
and it's like I expected so much more craziness, just based on like these guys and just with their past history. I felt like wanting more. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but in a way, if I play devil's advocate here. Mm-hmm. Past history, but like, I mean, at least this build for this match was quick. So if let's say they do something again down the line, you can top it.
Well, yeah. Well, and the good thing about this too is, Jordan, he was never ever pinned, so they can always go back to this thing.
But I appreciate the different. The style, because obviously when you have multiple people, let's say Money in the Bank, you're not going to have a just for lack of a better phrase, more technical match. No. It's just craziness. Mm-hmm. So you have those higher spots,
right?
Crazy spots. But I appreciate for what it was, and then obviously the high expectations probably like hurt the view. But I did like it was different enough, but it wasn't totally just a wrestling match.
Right.
But they got some nice cool ladder spots in, and you could see people say that the ladder spots meant more.
Yeah,
and when they were using it, especially the end, that was the bigger thing, and that took Devlin down. So it was a finish, but I do see. Between those two, you going in thinking it was crazy, so I get it. I'm not.
Yeah, and for Escobar specifically, I want them to try and get a little bit more creative with him, and the creative I'm talking about, Matt, is like, how many guys do we see on either like Raw or SmackDown, aka Ricochet, who aren't doing a damn thing right now, and you could be thinking, hey. You know what would be awesome? A championship match between Ricochet versus Santos Escobar. It's just, I mean, like, and as much as I like Escobar, I don't feel like that he has defended his title enough. Because I'm trying to even like recall when was the last title match that he
last
had.
Takeover. Either it was a TV special or Takeover.
Yeah, because,
I can't remember.
Right,
I just can't remember.
And I think
that's just not
right. And I think that is a little bit of of a problem right now is like they don't have any like viable guys. Like hell,
he did something wrong.
Yeah, like I mean, hell, I would like to see a Buddy Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, as I talked about. Like they need to get a little bit more creative, like Kushida, something. Like I just want to see them try and get something to get like fans more excited about this championship, and I'm not taking anything away from like Santos and Jordan here. It's just I just kind of want something more from this title.
I think it's way better than what they were doing with the main roster or 205 Live.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I agree, but at the same time they're not maybe overexposing him. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine too, but I think at the same time, hell, like can we get some championship matches more is kind of what
I gotta look now. I would like to look that up and see when the last.
Yeah,
I don't think it was that long of a drought. I don't know
because I think I want to say that his last title defense was against who was the 205 Kurt Stallion. I think that
might be it.
I think that was his last.
Then he had a little program with
Karrion
Kross. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that was his last title defense before this one.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they can kind of change that there. So we'll see what happens. God.
So we're watching the Penguin.
Got to 3-on-1.
Push. Anyways, what's next? Women's Tag Team Championship match.
Yeah, I did not give a single shit about this whatsoever. I mean, and I'm trying to be as kind as possible, but
to be honest, I watched this coming home from work and watching it in the back. I had like the lights off. That got me tired. I kind of like was in and out. Yep. I was trying to do something to wake up because like I gotta watch this, finish the show.
Did like you wake up when like Shotzi nearly
which
killed
part
herself?
was that? Was it the flip outside to the ring?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
no, I saw that. Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She does this at least one time. Oh, and something I just like realized. We're like back. Our background. Hey.
Wow. Yeah. And plus, I was staring at that the whole time, and I didn't think to move.
We are professionals here, pal. Yeah, not really, but
nope. But yeah, if you didn't know, we are reviewing Takeover, Stand and Deliver. Anyways, yeah, it looks much better. But follow us on the Twitter. You saw behind us. Anyways,
yes.
Excuse me. I mean, decent match, but I thought going in that this was going to be the weakest match on the card.
Yeah.
Again, not taken away from those ladies.
And it's kind of what I told you earlier. There just wasn't any story behind this either.
It was put in the cold down spot.
Right. And so I'm hoping for these titles that they don't treat them like they have been treating the titles on both like Raw and SmackDown, like actually get together actual tag teams and not people who are just some singles who are just singles wrestlers. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that they can be a little bit more creative as that because I feel like similar to their Matt, we don't actually have actual tag teams for the women because if you look at Shotzi and Ember, singles wrestlers, if you look, hey, score, and if
he's on, I guess,
and if like you look at Candice and Indy, singles wrestlers, even though they are
they're the most tag team looking tag team,
right? So it's like they need to really, I mean, because
Riot Squad technically,
yeah. So like they need to do a little bit of a better job with that. So yeah, so obviously Shotzi and Ember retain, not exactly surprising.
Yeah, no.
So yeah.
Good.
The North American Championship, and this, I was so like let down by this match. I'm not sure if you completely agree with me.
And by that, you talking about the cell?
Yeah, that
match
that freaking bothered me. So.
Honestly, I didn't notice it until you said it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, and I will be first to say these guys worked really damn hard, and they did everything they could to put on a very good match. But to me, this story just made zero sense. Like, Johnny is probably 190 pounds soaking wet, and how much is like Bronson Reed? You would say 360, 350.
He at least has to be 300.
Yeah, so it's like,
I don't know. Yeah.
So you're meaning to tell me a like shoulder tackle or a punch to his ribs is going to somehow hurt him?
I'll give him the shoulder tackle. It took 2 and he didn't fall down.
Right.
So at least they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I think a shoulder tackle, would not, I want to say, for again, just hurt. I don't know what other word to say. He didn't really fall. So if he did the shoulder tackle slingshot and Reed went down one, then 110% totally behind you. Yeah. Not saying I'm not behind you, but even more so.
Yeah, I mean,
I see. It's tough because, like Johnny did. I don't think this was even a big problem. The reverse hurricanrana on him. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not even upset about that.
No.
I could see some parts. Yeah, you were saying, it's just selling, but
it's just hard to buy that.
They did try to.
If there wasn't such a huge weight and size discrepancy there, Matt, I would have been perfectly fine, but it's just hard to buy that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, from what I remember, watching, I don't think it was, in terms of the self-drop, that terrible. But I agree, there was parts.
Yeah, it's just
that you're like.
I feel like they could have just done this better, because to me, if like this was flipped, oh, absolutely. I mean, hell, I can absolutely buy that there, but it's like, I feel like they could have done something different to make it where, like, okay, I can buy these two going head to head, because even them having a that extreme and for how many kickouts that Johnny had too, just
I was expecting more of like Austin Theory, like costing.
Honestly,
Reed,
I was kind of hoping that they were going to do that, because
or at least hurting Reed enough that like he lost because Austin.
To me, that would have been a like much more interesting story, because to be honest, Johnny as a champion, I just don't think he really needs to be a champion
He's doing the JBL, everybody helps him, and he kind of like just squeaks by role.
And to be perfectly honest, I have been really hot and cold on like Johnny. And this is kind of another example of like being cold with him. I was just hoping for something different here.
I don't necessarily cold. I think just the booking of the match.
Yep, I agree.
Was, could say, questionable. I don't want to say cool on him. I get what I know what you mean.
Right.
But I like, for lack of a better phrase, I know why I know why you said it. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just somehow that some booking of the layout and the match itself for some choices, but as a match as a whole, it was not bad, very enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I kind of thought maybe Bronson could pull it off.
I felt like he probably should have here, honestly, but I I did also pick
But I
Johnny
get why Johnny the
retain,
takeover, the Johnny takeover thing. So it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not totally upset with it, but yeah. So
all right, so then we have the co-main event, the NXT Championship, which I completely agree. This should
there's no way,
not
no way,
closed
not what
show.
happened.
Thank you, NXT for that. Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross, where we saw a new NXT Heavyweight Champion. Karrion Kross regains his title that he never lost, and is now a 2-time NXT champion. I gotta say, this was a very good match, a very physical match.
Yes.
And there was people crapping on this. And I'm
how? Why?
I'm like seriously, I don't know what you people freaking want here.
Know.
Like
flips and
I mean, like this was just a fun physical. This was a fight. This was a fight, and I loved what I freaking loved, Matt, was like they were playing the like whole
shoulder
like motions thing into this, where you saw like Finn just constantly trying to egg on Karrion Kross.
They did that good in the beginning with like no matter what you can do, I can do better, and like that's all you can do.
Yeah,
and they had the emotions. Finn tried to take over, and then Karrion try to do the shoulder and then the turnbuckle, or into Finn in the corner. Finn moved out of the way, hit the shoulder. Right. Was that the shoulder he got injured, or was it the other one?
I can't recall.
But anyways, he had the shoulder, and then Finn immediately works on that, selling on the shoulder, telling that story throughout the whole match.
Yep.
I thought it was good. I think again, good physical, good story. Injure the body part, immediately go on to it, and that became a thing the whole match. I did like that when it came to the finish. You had Karrion just get on and back and just pummel the holy hell out of him in the back of the head. And then I even saw someone criticizing that freaking finish. I'm like, dude, he freaking elbowed him in the back of the freaking neck. What were they criticizing about it?
About the finish that Finn didn't kick out.
I'm glad I would have been pissed if he kicked out.
Like he and not to mention before that he hit him repeatedly to the freaking neck at that point. I'm like, sorry, dude, but you shouldn't be kicking out.
No,
that. No.
He basically thought if that was an MMA fight when he was you would be screaming to stop the fight,
right?
And if it didn't, you'd been like, why the hell not?
So I'm like Joe Rogan. He'd be like, stop the fight.
Somebody like we would be like, damn it, stop the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. I always thought they were going to call it like a knockout there. And
honestly, I was kind of hoping for that. I was kind of hoping for that because
I would be perfectly fine with that.
That would have been, I felt like that would have come off so much better, honestly, because it like completely fits into Karrion's character as his powerful striker.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would have been perfectly.
That would have been fine. But then Balor slowly got up and then just lariat of death.
Yeah,
killed him, and
then obviously Karrion, he is your new NXT champion, as I said. Interested to see where they go next for him. Because to me, I don't think there is a clear-cut number one contender right now, and that's kind of where I'm like not exactly sure where things go. I mean, how I would like to see someone come down to NXT like a Kevin Owens or something, or maybe a Samoa Joe at some point. But
if he was cleared, but
if he's cleared,
do you want him to phase in when he's cleared from a concussion?
Yeah, that's true. But
at least immediately back.
Right. So yeah. Or hell, Aleister Black. Aleister Black. Like Mr. Pirate himself.
Yeah, but yeah, I love the finish. Just like murder, with the forearms.
And speaking of murder,
oh God,
this leads to the unsanctioned match. Which, by the way, that freaking video package, holy God, whoever made that, pay that person five times more.
I think I still like the one last week on Wednesday that whatever, like I can't even think of it. I think that was better, but not by a lot.
No, and like, dear God, that was amazing. And but something I gotta criticize though, Matt, is like these freaking like these like freaking like new themes for Kyle and Adam leave a lot to be
I think I don't mind O'Reilly's. I think anyone
Adams specifically, it's like ugh.
Yeah, I gotta let it grow on me. Mm-hmm. The only bad thing is you don't have like the obvious boom for like undisputed thing.
I'm gonna really miss that.
I think it's a work in progress.
Yeah. So yeah. And this was a very like a very like UFC style entrance where they have all of these security guards just like it reminded me a lot when we had like Habib and like Connor where they had like 10,000 security guards in the I mean it adds to there.
It. I mean it totally fits.
Right.
Just a big fight feel. They had another subtle touch I always like when you have these unsanctioned is when the ref has the no ref shirt on, just the black t-shirt. And then it's almost like a lights out. They had lights on the top; those weren't on.
Yeah.
So it was subtle touches of this is not a sanctioned match. Obviously, just it's like the little things that just make it seem more important and more different.
And before this thing even started, man, I thought of like one thing. How crazy was Adam going to be getting since his girlfriend went freaking insane on like Dynamite a like month ago in like her lights out match. They are now called the hardcore couple now, aren't they?
Yes. Maybe in more ways than one. Ayo.
But for the match itself, were there any things that like you didn't like or what?
The choice of the ending, and I'll get into it in my reasoning, but to get leading up to it, I was texting you some stuff leading up to it. That suplex on the announce table, no budge. I think Cole had to land on that monitor or something, and like he didn't land flush. He landed like, mostly on the from his mid back up. Yeah. The TV monitor and the Cole looked nasty. When they were outside, just some physical things. Okay, let me get to. I felt that criticism. I think, if for lack of a better phrase, I think when they got to, I think once they do the spot through the stage. I think if the roles were reversed there, and then you do Cole doing the suplex or brain buster on the stairs to Cole as a finish, as the payback, then get in and then pin. I think that would be a nice, better finish, because to me. And I don't know. I just think going through the stage is kind of like that big moment, and then that brain buster on the stairs or something.
Yeah, like
could finish.
That was like reminiscent of like Taz and like Bam Bam.
Yeah,
Bam Bam from ECW.
I think that would have been a good finish. But. The finish they did, it was and let me get the chain use, creative use of chain throughout the chain throughout the match.
Yeah, I did like that. I just felt that this match just went on entirely too long. I felt like it just dragged for about like 10.
I didn't feel that.
Yeah, like that's kind of how I felt, and I also feel too. This could have really have used some color here for sure.
Well, they got some the hard way.
Yeah, they got that. It's just I was just like, that would have like really helped as far as like drama was concerned.
That cut on O'Reilly's back.
Yeah, that was
just like I saw that after he got out. I was like, oh my god,
that was nasty.
I see with matches like this, if I'm really invested in a lot of stuff going on,
right.
I almost never want it to end, and it being like that long, I don't mind it. No, if it was a regular, if this was just for throwing out a thing, if this was Karrion Kross and Balor, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's only so much, but with unsanctioned and there's so much to do. To me, I don't notice it as much.
Mm-hmm.
I did see when after Kross and Balor's on, and I paused it and I saw how much time was left. I went, holy God!
Yeah, because those guys had to go at least 40 minutes.
Yes,
at least 40 minutes. I'm like, I don't think it should have been that long, but I will say though, they did tell a very good story. Obviously, but I was surprised that they went with Kyle here to win.
I did pick Kyle,
but at the same time too, I wasn't surprised because
I get that. I know what you're talking about.
Because
you think you would go with Cole, but you're like,
yeah, and two, it's like, okay, Kyle hasn't won a big time match yet, whereas Cole has won over and over and over again. So I feel like this was them doing that, and I also think there's a good chance this is probably it for Adam Cole on NXT. So I'm and just judging on, and even if like he is on NXT, he better not be on TV for at least a freaking month or so, because that finish where he fell on the steel chair like that, I'm like,
oh yeah, that was see that was a good finish. If you know what I said before didn't happen, and why I criticized, because this almost got to of how did you kick out of that?
Right.
I forget what happened, but there was a good spot because I think they did the brain buster.
Yeah.
It got into the I think the ring. I think it was after this, and I could be wrong. Was when O'Reilly kicked out. Mm-hmm. He didn't kick out. He kind of had a shoulder twitch.
He did.
If that happened,
he did a like Connor when he fought fought like Cowboy with the freaking shoulder strikes.
Yeah, but I appreciated that because it was more like just your natural. It wasn't okay. I'm really kicking out. It was just like an instinct of trying to kick out. Yeah. So even though I thought he probably thing of not kicking out, he did that, and that was better because it was like I'm not fully have the capability. Mm-hmm. And even selling of O'Reilly when Cole was going for the what's his knee finishing the knee called?
Oh
my God!
The like last shot.
Yeah, when he was Cole up and O'Reilly just fell over.
Right.
That was good storytelling. So even though I necessarily disagree with the finish or what could have been the finish, mm-hmm. I do appreciate the story and the selling that happened in between. Mm-hmm. But I think if stuff was reversed, roles in that thing, if the Brain Buster would have, given the Cole as a payback or something and then go on. But the storytelling, I think, was top notch. Could say it maybe edged out Walter and
on
storytelling.
I would still like have Walter and Ciampa above that, but I think this is probably second.
It's definitely at least second.
Yeah,
I'm pointing for me. I think I'm pointing it one. and slightly behind was Walter, in my opinion, just because I think the story leading into it, I think really helped. But it's like saying how you want to die by shooting or stabbing. It's basically close. It's not good.
Yeah, and now and kind of what'd you think? Which night was better for you? I say one.
One.
Yeah,
because just overall,
I felt like it flowed better. I felt like that there wasn't as like much like
one.
lull on the show.
Night 2 had the last two that really were top heavy.
Right.
One was I pretty much.
It was pretty
solid throughout.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Night 1 was pretty consistent, whereas 2 had some more peaks and valleys there.
Night 2 was just hard to compete with 1, just with perception. But yeah, it was. But overall, as a whole, NXT Takeover, that was some good stuff.
Yep. All right, and now it's time to move on to our WrestleMania predictions. Night 1. For Night 1, Matt. So it currently looks like that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches.
How many on Night 2, real quick?
Night 2, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's even. Okay, 7 that's not bad.
Yeah. So
for Mania as a whole on one show, 7, that's not bad at all.
No, and I will not be complaining because hell, we will be able to do a freaking like recap probably at like. Hopefully 10 or
10:30
or 10:30,
maybe 11 at the latest. But
fingers crossed. So so let's quickly get into these. Which I think this is probably going to be opening up on like Night 1 is for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley versus. I think this is going to be opening the show. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Matt, I'll be shocked if like Drew isn't champion after this. Just kind of how things have been going on like Raw, and now that we're involving Corbin on like Raw, I feel like that's probably is going to be a feud for like McIntyre for the title.
Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised.
So
as much as I still would like Lashley as champion,
I just don't see it happening. Although I would say Lashley should be champion, but I don't think he's going to be. I'm
gonna go with Drew.
Yep.
They could swerve us and
they could
and keep Lashley if something happens. I wouldn't be mad at both winning, honestly.
I mean, like,
I'd be really upset.
No, because to me, like, I mean, especially when it comes to either like Raw or SmackDown, hard to care for anything, not including our tribal chief.
To be fair, they got me caring about more so Lashley recently because they just he's one of the best things on that show consistently, just presentation wise, and him and MVP, like. I'm not going to say best book, but just consistently best presentation.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'll go with Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Hard wants Lashley, but I'll just go to Drew.
Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. I think Seth wins this year. I mean the actual storyline in general haven't been exactly crazy about. The only thing that has been great has been like Seth's over just over the top in getting swung. His suits still suck, but yeah.
No taste, John.
No taste, right? Because he's terrible. He stinks. But yeah, I am going with the with the rating slayer, Seth Rollins. How say you?
I wanna go with Cesaro.
But like logic is telling you, nope.
I'll go. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm just gonna go first thing. I go Cesaro.
Is that your final answer?
It's never my final answer. I'll take 50-50.
Sorry. We are now closed. Moving on now. Bad Bunny.
Now tag team match. It's the tag team match.
Yeah, I forgot to add that.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and John Morrison.
But anything except Bad Bunny and Damian Priest are wrong.
I don't think that it's that hard to say here. But I just hope that we get a good showcase from Damian Priest here. That's the only thing that I hope for here.
I'm curious how Bad Bunny is because he's been serious
I'm
and
curious.
been training.
I'm also curious about.
You know what? I'm gonna go. I don't think it's far in the limit is saying that he's gonna in this match show off a little bit, and it's gonna be impressive. I'm gonna go and say he's gonna be. We're gonna leave that match and comment on the Twitter, being like, okay, Bad Bunny, very impressive. I have confidence. I have confidence in Miz and Morrison to make Bad Bunny look good here.
All right. And now is stupid Braun Strowman.
It's Braun.
Sorry. Versus Shane McMahon.
Logic dictates it's Strowman, and that we're moving on. Anyway.
Yeah. Fuck this match. Fuck this feud. Strowman's gonna win. Good. Over. Okay.
I'm not even okay. It's the feud. The match in a vacuum wouldn't be upset. It's the feud. It sucks.
Yeah. Like Mr.
I can't defend
Mr.
it.
Mr. Choo Choo himself.
Choo Choo Magoo.
Yeah. God. Fuck this match. All right.
Who thought this? I could just see Nick Shane's face. He's like, "Oh God, why am I doing this?"
Yeah. Raw Tag Team Championships. New Day versus AJ and almost AJ and
AJ
almost here.
Almost.
I will be very surprised if it's not. So
almost is not losing his first match.
No. So yeah, we'll go.
Maybe.
Yep. All right, now we have a number one contenders match to determine who will be facing Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on night 2 for the tag titles. Lana and Naomi versus Dana and Mandy Rose versus the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina. Flip a freaking
I think
coin.
it's only down between Lana, Naomi, and Natalya and Tamina, but
I'm gonna go with the Riot Squad just because I don't think they have ever faced each other. I could be wrong about that, but I'm gonna say them.
I'm gonna go because I initially wanted to go with Natalya and Tamina because they kind of been showcased more at SmackDown, but then that's heels and heels, so I'll go with Lana and Naomi.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then for the main event on night 1, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair.
Bianca,
yeah,
you don't do it, so help me God.
Well, Matt, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I'm going with Sasha here, just based on how this build has been going.
Oh, I'm going to disregard the build. I'm just going to say you put it on Bianca. I'm
just going to remind you, we had a similar conversation last year when it came to Charlotte versus Rio Ripley about who was going to win, and you said no shot that they're putting the title on Sasha. Yeah. So
no, I mean.
Or
I said no.
Okay, Charlotte.
I'll give you the thing that it was Charlotte, but this is Sasha. No defend Banks.
Yeah. I just everything based that has been going on.
If this was Charlotte and Bianca, I would say okay, maybe you have I'll give you a case, but no, I think you have to.
Yeah, but that would be
if this is
that would be a logical thing to do there.
I think this is the thing because if any Royal Rumble winner is going to win, I think it has to be Bianca.
Yep, I agree.
I don't think you're going to have both. Depending on what we think on night 2, I don't think you can have both Rumble winners lose. I think put it on Bianca. I'm gonna say you're wrong.
Right.
I go put it on the EST.
Yeah, I'm going with Sasha on that, and I'm
-1.
I'm sure as soon as we get on here on Sunday night,
Regardless of whoever wins,
Matt is going to be a very angry man about that.
Because we didn't put money on Bianca winning.
Yep. No. because Sasha is going to win, and like you're going to say, this makes no sense. I'm like, I try to. I'm telling you.
No. Bianca's going to win.
All right. Night 2.
Yep. Bianca's
Night
gonna
2.
win.
Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with supposedly Logan Paul in his corner.
He had an exclusive. He went to Logan and Jake Paul's gym. That was hilarious.
Yeah. I'm going with Kevin Owens here. I feel that's probably where, and we'll probably see like Logan Paul
Cost Sami.
Yeah, or like punch him or something. So
going with Owens.
And the horse shit match of the night, Randy Orton versus the Fiend. Fiend just, oh God, I am not looking forward to it.
I am just to annoy you.
Yeah, God, yeah, like Fiend. All right. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler versus whoever is going. New champs.
I'm going with new champs.
Yeah. I'll probably say.
I'm going new champs.
I'll probably.
It's time. It is time.
Yeah.
It's Mania. Go.
Yep. I will agree with that as well. Matt Riddle versus Sheamus for the United States Championship. I will be shocked if Sheamus is on champion after this. Here.
I was gonna go Riddle.
Yeah. I feel good about Sheamus here, so I'll go with Sheamus. The IC Championship, or the what's it called?
Nigerian drum match.
Like what the fuck is that?
He said, Apollo said it was a drum match because it was gonna be a beating so bad it's gonna sound like a beating of drums.
So basically, it's just a
street fight. I think so.
So why don't we just call it a freaking street fight? Oh.
Because it's not how dare you insult Nigerian ancestry like that?
I wouldn't if it was anything different from a regular street fight.
What's the difference between a street fight and no DQ match?
Not a damn thing.
There you go. So what's the?
You're making my point. Damn it! All right.
No, you're making a big deal.
All right. Who do you got?
Cruz.
I'm going with like Big E.
Cruz.
Yeah. Just I think it's too soon for like Big E, but at the same time, they kind of have like booked themselves into a corner where like he kind of has to win.
This is the one. Yeah. Well, yeah. This is the one that if you can be right, I'm like I'm not shocked, but I'm like. You do this new gimmick with Cruz. He gets cheated out of.
He should win.
He gets almost cheated out of a win, a pin. This is almost like role reverse. But you should win. So that's why I'm going with Cruz.
All right. Asuka versus Rio Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship.
I think it's time for Rhea this time because he didn't win last year.
Yeah, I'm going with Asuka here. Yeah, man, it's just
going with Rhea. It's his time.
I mean, I definitely want to see Rhea win.
Because of COVID, she's back in the same place. I think it's Rhea.
Yeah, I hope so, but I just don't. I don't see it happening. So
we walk out with the final two of the Rumble being champions on their respective brands. New champions, new blood.
Let's hope so. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Asuka there. Then we have the main event of like night 2, a triple threat match for the Raw Universal Championship. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Ooh, this is one of the few times where I can see any guy winning here.
Yeah.
I do think, however, that title should not be coming off of like Roman's shoulders. But I think if it does, then he isn't getting pinned here, which it's kind of a way to protect him. But I'm going to have faith in our tribal chief. So I'm going to go with like Roman Reigns.
I'm going Roman Reigns.
Yeah, right.
I can see maybe at the next pay-per-view after Edge and Bryan one-on-one.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fine.
I would be perfect
because it kind of like that's the path you can take.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm going Roman Reigns. I can see some point at the end, just out of nowhere spear.
Yeah.
When you think Edge or Bryan could like win, just come out, spear, win, and you go off with your tribal chief title hand holding up, fireworks going off, and the shot of Daniel Bryan and Edge just distraught and like just giving each other the look like F you.
Right.
Look what you did. You cost me you cost me a chance and all that fun stuff.
Right. All right. So that was our preview of like WrestleMania. As like Matt said, we are going to be here on Sunday night. We will go over everything that has happened. Hopefully it will be a like fun stream, a happy stream. But yeah, Matt, anything else to add here?
I'm gonna go on the hope that poor build, great show.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a like WrestleMania 31 where that build was awful, but the show itself, it was awesome.
I think there's more history to say that could happen.
Yeah,
I think being optimistic, I think this will presently surprise people. Hopefully, I'm going to go with that. I want to be positive going into this weekend.
Positive Matt has spoken.
Yes.
So yeah, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you guys follow us on Twitter. I am going to be pretty much on there on Saturday night. Matt, unfortunately, he has
to work.
He has to work. So
hard game.
So I will be on there on Saturday night, and
I will stay off.
Yeah.
I'm not getting spoiled. Damn
right.
it.
And I will also be on there earlier that afternoon. We have a UFC card on ABC there, so stay tuned for that. And as always, follow us on Twitter at MJ Make a Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, and
I'm doing this terribly.
And we shall see you on Sunday. Everyone have a fun WrestleMania weekend.
Yes, can't wait. Take care.